Can you tell by the examination of a bullet whether it has been fired by a clean gun or by a foul gun? Yes, sir. How can you tell that? With respect to lead bullets and black powder, you can tell that quite consistently, but you cannot always tell it with regard to smokeless powder. Well, how about with respect to lead bullets and black or semi-smokeless powder? Well, the fouling of the barrel accumulates quite rapidly and leaves on the surface of the bullet marks in addition to those present from the surface of the metal itself. You say the metal itself. I said the surface of the bullet. Oh, the surface and not the metal? You are nitpicking, sir. The surface of the bullet, in addition to carrying the fine scratches imparted to it by the barrel surface, has additional scratches running down its cylindrical portion. And are those rough paths? Yes, they are. They are tiny accumulations of fouling. And was that like a little island inside the barrel? Well, it was a scrape out of their own paths on the outside of each bullet, so that the fouler the barrel, the more marks on the bullet fired through the foul barrel. Is that right? Yes, sir. Is there a discernible difference between the fouling marks on a bullet and the marks made on a bullet by the rifling of the weapon? Yes, sir. The foul marks are temporary and the rifling marks are permanent. Sir, you can determine that on the examination of the bullets, can you? You can determine it only by the fact that over a series of shots, certain marks will be there permanently and others will disappear. And you know that those which disappear are due to temporary conditions. And, sir, is that the fouling? Yes, the fouling or rust. Are the bullets of any given type, say a .38 caliber Smith & Wesson type, exactly the same when made by the different cartridge companies? No. Tell us about that. It is a standard type such as the one you mentioned, which is made slightly differently by each different manufacturing company. Does each have a number, sir? Each has a number of different characteristics which are peculiar to the product of that company. I did not ask you that. I am sorry, but they differ in those respects from the product of any other company. In what respects do they differ? In outline and curvature. By curvature, what do you mean? By curvature, I mean the curve of the bullet on the nose may differ. Is that with respect to overall length, sir? The overall length may differ as well. And these differences are what? These differences, sir, are slight but distinctive. They may differ in diameter by thousandths of an inch, but that would not make any difference, of course, in that in their final identification you have the identification. Do they differ in weight? They differ in weight by a few grains. The lowest weight for this size is 145 grains, and the highest 150 grains. Is there a difference, sir, in the width of this cylindrical bearing surface above and below this groove? Yes, there is. It is known as the cannelure or grease groove, which may be seen in magnification. In that groove, the grease is packed around and serrated, and the grease is squeezed down when the bullet is fired, and that cuts down the amount of fouling. What would happen without that grease, sir? Without that grease, the fouling would accumulate much more rapidly than it does. Do bullets that are fired from a 38 caliber Smith & Wesson gun, irrespective of the make of the bullet, are they known as 38 caliber Smith & Wesson type? Yes, sir.